The beginning, I have taken these 3 bananas which I have peeled and kept here. Now let's take the fork and mash it up. This is the very effective method of mashing the banana, and it's really very easy also, and you can mash the banana very easily without having any kind of trouble. So here I'm mashing the banana with the fork, and I really love to do it since it's very easy to do because of it. So now the mashed banana is ready. You can see it has been mashed very properly and it looks very creamy. Now after mashing it, we have to add for our next ingredient, and the next ingredient is baking powder. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of the baking powder. Baking powder helps to make our banana bread more soft and more fluffy, so it is very important to put it in there. I'm going to add it and mix. And our next is cinnamon powder. Here you can see. Let me add half of the teaspoon of cinnamon powder. And now all together there is another spoon as well, and there is the powder of cardamom. It will enhance, and the smell also is very sweet. Now I'm going to mix all the ingredients very properly. Make sure they mix very well so that when we add other ingredient, their taste would be better. Now our next is egg. So 1 egg is sufficient for it, so I'm going to add this 1 egg. Now I've already put the egg. Let me mix this all the mixture together very properly. Okay, now after mixing it, I'm going to add a very important ingredient, and that's obviously a milk, which I have cooked, and you can see it's still lukewarm. And I'm going to, you can put milk according to your requirement. If you are going to make more, you can add more milk, because it will need more flour to dissolve. I'm going to make a little bit more, so adding a little bit more. Now let's stir it and mix all the ingredients very properly. Now you can see our batter is ready, and now let's sift it here, and then I'm going to add the flour. So here I have all-purpose flour, and I'm going to mix this flour little by little. You should not put all the flour at once, because we need a batter that has thick consistency. So to keep the consistency, we obviously need to put flour little by little and need to mix them very well. So I'm stirring it. That's the first flour. Make sure there's no lump of the flour. Let me add a little bit more and more. Okay, now I'm going to mix it up, stir it very properly. It might look very long process, but this is the very important process, because we have to mix all the ingredients very properly so that we could get the taste of it in our gwamari. So I'm stirring it. It won't take very long time, and it's quite fun to do it. I just love to do whenever I'm stirring. I just feel very sweet. I just imagine how sweet or how wonderful the taste would be. Now here I'm adding one more time, because we need thick batter. The reason is, if you make your batter thin, it will soak a lot of oil, which is not good for our health, and obviously won't taste good also. For that reason, we have to make our batter to be thick. For that reason, you have to add flour unless you get the batter thick. So I'm mixing it, but I'm making it a bit more today, so I'm gonna add a little bit more milk. But before that, I have to dissolve this mixture very well. Once I'm done with it, I'm gonna add milk there. Now you can see my batter has become a little bit thick. My hand, I'm really feeling a bit hard to stir it. You can see the mess that I have made while I was stirring it. The flour has actually spread on the edges of the bowl, and similarly now the batter is thick, and let me add a little bit more milk. Here I'm gonna add the milk. Okay, now let's just mix it up. I spilled the milk. I'm sorry for that. That's because just now my mixture was thick enough, but suddenly when I add the milk, it was not so balanced. Now I'm putting the flour. Now it will be easy to mix. So here I'm stirring it unless it gets a proper batter and become a thick batter for cooking. It seems quite hard because the more thick it gets, the more energy you have to use to mix it up together. And sometimes it seems like, oh, my batter is becoming too thick, but it's not. When it mixes up very properly, you will know how wonderful it looks and how balanced it looks. So that's the reason why we need to stir it. So I'm stirring and stirring unless it turns into a better batter that I want for cooking. So here I am mixing all of them together, and you can see that finally they are just mixed and dissolved in the mixture. And this is how my batter is ready. And I suggest you to use a fork whenever you make this kind of batter. Even if you don't have whisk, this is perfect option. Now here I have already heat the oil in the pan. I have made it many times so you can see the brown color in the edges of the pan. So let me put the batter on the pan. You can use a spoon as well, but it will be a mess. So better you use your hand so that you could actually manage how to keep that batter in the pan. So I chose to use my hand because that's the easy way. You don't have to put any capping while you put them because we have used egg, so they are not gonna stick with each other and they will be just perfect. I want to make more at once, so I'm putting all the batters without leaving any capping. And you don't have to worry that if they will stick or not. They won't, because of the egg. They won't stick with each other. They won't be greasy. It will be perfectly dry and the shape would be wonderful. So here my batters are already in the pan and they are cooked. You can just see how are they cooked in the pan. And you can see it is changing its color gradually. I suggest you to put the heat in medium. It should not be too much high because it will get burned. And it should not be too low that it will take very long time. And when you flip, sometimes it might stick to each other, so I am pouring a little bit all over them and I'm flipping. Be careful while you flip them. Sometimes you can spill the oil on your gas or on your body. So I'm using a small spoon so that my oil won't spill over anywhere. The last one to spin. Okay, so now they are cooked medium heat. After that, again I'm going to flip it one more time to make sure that they have a good color and they are cooked very properly. Overcooking is also not a good thing for it, because if you overcook, then its texture won't be good, plus it won't be so soft and floppy. I've had experienced it before, so you have to cook it unless it becomes golden brown. Now I can see that their base has already become golden brown, so I'm gonna flip them again unless they turn into a golden brown. You really need to have patience while you cook this, and you need to be very much careful as well. Here they are changing their color. You can see the brown color on the edges and the small, let's say small pieces that has fallen from the batter. I really love them eating. They are so crunchy. That is why I love them seeing it. The shape is not very much perfect since we have used our hand and there is no perfect shape of using the batter. So here we can see the change and turn into a golden brown. That's the color I really love, and that's the color we need actually. Honestly, we don't care about the look of the food when we are making at home. What matters to us is we are getting a very delicious food at our home. And trust me, it's not very oily. It won't soak too much oil, so I can just say it's really very good. Now it's almost cooked, and the bubbles also start to decrease, which means it's perfect and ready to take out. So I'm taking it out. First of all, let me soak excess some oil, and I have put paper over my plate so that the paper will soak the oil. Here, oh, I just dropped one of them. Come to me. Sometimes it happens. So there goes other. So first you have to excess some oil, and then you have to put on your plate. There, here go our last two pieces. And I put the one I dropped. You can see the texture. It looks really very good, and actually it's so good. Here's my second batch of the Gwamaris. They are cooked so well. You can't stop seeing them. I can't wait to taste them. So there they are. They really look so beautiful in color. So my second batch is also already completed. Here's my last batch. I can just see the shape. It seems like a long horn has came out of it. Actually, it's the batter pieces, which when I have poured it on the oil, they will stick over there. I really love eating them, and I really love the shape. So here is my Gwamari, and it's finally ready to serve. Here you can see the texture, the color. Now let's make the toast. Here I have mayonnaise, bread, and already cooked omelette. Now we're going to prepare a toast. So let's go for it. First of all, I'm going to take a toast and going to apply mayonnaise over it. So let me choose a spoon. A flat and a small spoon would be better. So I'm choosing the small and flat spoon. Now let's take out the mayonnaise and apply over our bread. I like thick layer of the mayonnaise to get its rich flavor, so I'm applying it all over the toast for the first. That's the first step that we need to do. Mayonnaise and bread are really a best combination. Now after this, I'm going to put omelette in the middle. But for that purpose, I need to cut it. So I have used spatula and spoon so that it will be cut very easily into the pieces that is adjustable in the bread. So here I have already cut the omelette. Let's put them over our bread. Let me put this on the cap, and now I'm going to put omelette. So here I already put the omelette. Last step is we have to put the ketchup. My favorite, tomato chili ketchup. Yeah, be careful not to pour too much. So you can just put a little bit of it over all of the omelette, and then we can cover it with another piece of the bread, and I've covered it. So here our first toast is ready. Now using the same method, let me prepare another as well. ललिना आजा
थैंक यू धन्यवाद
Time to taste myself.